I have Miss Angela here, who I would like to talk about a little bit about Shepherd's Gate so that you can get a good understanding about what they do for the community. I have Miss Angela here from Shepherd's Gate. Come on up. Miss Angela.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you for choosing Shepherd's Gate as your platform. I am not a motivational speaker, but I'm very passionate about Shepherd's Gate and what we do. I just wrote a couple things down, make sure I go over everything. So Shepherd's Gate has been in Livermore for now 35 years. We are 35 years strong. We started in 1984. We serve women, homeless women, women with children, women without children. Today we have two campuses. We have the Livermore campus, we have a Brentwood campus, and we have the thrift store on East Avenue called the New Life Store. Let's see. We are a nonprofit organization. We don't receive any government assistance, so we really appreciate your donations. Shepherd's Gate is very a community place, and if you live in Livermore or the Tri-Valley area, it's an amazing place, and it's very much a place where everybody gets involved in the community, and it's a really beautiful thing. So our program is a long-term residential program, 12 to 18 months. It's a self-sufficiency program. It helps women get back on their feet. It's a comprehensive program that addresses all issues, whatever the issues are that got them to that situation where they're homeless. So we have a learning and career center, we have an amazing childcare, we actually have a program for the children, and the women graduate. We have a 5-acre campus in Livermore. If you're interested in having a tour and finding out more about that, that's available too. I have my business card in the back if you want to grab a card, learn more about it. We have a nice website. Just want to mention real quick the ways that you can get involved. So volunteering is one way. We have a small staff on hand, and we can't do what we do without the support of volunteers. So that's like a 2-hour month commitment for 6 months, and there's all kinds of ways that you can do that. I can talk to you more about that as well. We always have a current needs list, like produce, things like that. We have an Amazon wish list on our website. Thrift store donations, we take your gently used things over at the thrift store. And of course, the monetary donations, which we always need. 85% of every dollar we get goes back into the program, so we keep admin costs at 15%. And also, I just want to mention that we have an 80% success rate of women who do not return to the campus. Awesome. And yeah, come get my card. I'll give you a tour anytime. It's an absolute beautiful campus, and that's kind of what sets us apart, is that when these ladies come from these situations and they come to a clean, beautiful campus, you wouldn't know it, we're off Portola Avenue, but it's a 5-acre campus, and we have five 2-bedroom transitional cottages at the end. So I'm there in the back. Thank you for your support, and thank you, Tina.
Let's give it up for Angela, everybody. Thank you, Angela. Thank you so much. Now you see why Shepherd's Gate is my platform. So did everybody get a book, a little spiral notebook, and a little pamphlet when they came in today? Y'all got one? Does anybody want to come sit up front over here and make me feel a little cozy? That would be helpful.
Got your mama.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, I started motivational speaking a little over a year ago, and brought on Shepherd's Gate as my platform in order to give back to the community. It's a way of us able to express myself and help other people and give back. So thank you for being here, Angela, and thank all my vendors for being here. My cousin Tracy, she's got some beautiful handmade jewelry. We have Shepherd's Gate, we have Miss Bobby back here with Party Light. Who doesn't like Party Light? And then out back we have some amazing vendors. We have a lady named Gina who does hand-painted signs, really beautiful. And then we have Mr. Gary with his watches and Fernando with his loungewear. And then we also have Mikey out front with the food truck. Awesome food truck. Make sure you get something to eat. He has the best clam chowder in the bay. So today we're going to talk about overcoming adversity by finding the joy in everyday living. Okay? This is a big one. I think all of us can resonate with, right? So, how many of you have seen the movie Parenthood? You all seen the movie Parenthood with Steve Martin? Made my husband watch it last night. It's pretty funny, actually. But there's a scene in there where the grandma tells the roller coaster story. Y'all know the roller coaster story? So here's what she said. She said, you know, when I was 19, Grandpa took me on a roller coaster. Up, down, up, down. Oh, what a ride. I always wanted to go again. You know, it was just so interesting that that ride could make me so frustrated, so scared, so sick, and so excited and so thrilled all together. Some didn't like it. They went on the merry-go-round. That goes round. Nothing. I like the roller coaster. You get more out of it. That's my favorite scene in the whole movie. So here's what I get from the roller coaster story, okay? Life is like a roller coaster. You have ups, downs, all arounds, right? It can be scary, exciting, and even make you sick at times. But it's the ride and the journey that counts, right? You're not always going to be up, you're not always going to be down. In the loop-de-loops, guess what? Gravity has a way of putting us back on our feet, right? As Grandma mentioned, some people didn't like the roller coaster. They went on the old merry-go-round. Well, that just goes round and round. It's kind of boring, right? There's nothing new to your life. It's just the same old, right? There's no excitement in that. It was round and round. The ups and downs and all arounds are what makes life worth living, right? So we're all going to face adversity at some point in time in our lives. It's going to happen, folks, whether we like it or not. So what is the definition of adversity, right? Adversity is an adverse or unfavorable fortune or fate, a condition marked by misfortune. Something happened to us, we didn't expect it, and here we are, right? Things that we didn't expect are going to happen to us in our lives. We may lose a loved one unexpectedly. That's a big one to overcome. And usually, we never really overcome it. We just learn to live with it in the best way that we can. We may have a tragic accident, like my mother-in-law, who was in a car accident and was ran over by a car, and 6 years later has a brain injury for the rest of her life now, right? We may get diagnosed with cancer or some disease. That will change your life in a big way, right? Huge. We may have a falling out with a family member or a friend. We may have lost our job out of nowhere. We lost our job. Here we are going along fine, and then they lay us off, or the job gets outsourced, or what have you. Lost our marriage or relationship because of whatever may have happened in that time. We may even lose our home. That's a big one. Losing your home does something to you. Kind of makes you feel violated a little bit, doesn't it? We will face some sort of rejection or disappointment at some point in time. What do we do? How do we handle these types of things when they happen? Well, what first comes to my mind is one moment, one step, one day at a time. Some things are beyond our control, and the best thing that we can do is let the emotions do what they're going to do. Let them come. Let them out. If we hold them in, we're only going to get, they're only going to make it worse, and it's going to hit you when you least expect it. If you don't deal with what you're dealing with in the moment. It's okay to let the emotions out. It's okay to have pain, anger, or what have you. That's okay. We're going to have those things, okay? That some things may happen that completely change our life that we had no control over, right? Let them come. hold on to your faith and spirituality. That's where you'll find strength. Whatever your faith is, whatever your spirituality is, hold on to it, because that's where you're going to find your strength. How do we find the silver lining when these types of things happen? These unforeseen things that we wouldn't even guess would happen in our life. But where's the silver lining? This is never going to happen. My life has really been tragic or what have you. I'm never going to get well. Well, the silver lining's there. You just got to look for it, right? It may seem like you'll never find it, but it's there. I truly believe that everything happens in our life for a reason. It really truly does. Sometimes that reason isn't shown to us that very moment. Sometimes it takes weeks, months, or even years to show itself. Sometimes we never deal with it. We just keep pushing it back, because it's painful. That hurts. I don't want to deal with that. I'm going to push it back. But when we do that, that's where the issues come within ourselves, right? So we'll come to a crossroads many times in our life, right? Throughout our whole life. Which way do we go? What is the right choice for my path? What's the right choice for me? We may feel lost or unloved. Or maybe we don't even have a good support system. Maybe our family is crap. Maybe they have their own stuff that they've never dealt with and have never been there for you. Maybe we can't turn to our family. And that's got to be tough when our family is not there for us. Our support system isn't there. That's really tough. So where do you go from here? Or how did I get here? How did I get here in this very moment? I was doing just fine, going along with life. What just happened? My life was doing just fine, then wham, bam. This happened or that happened. What do we do when we're faced with these types of things? Well, my recommendation is get out of your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone. Okay? What do I mean by that? Change it up. Get out of the house. You don't want to get out of the house when stuff is happening, but get out of the house. Do something special for yourself. Take a nice drive. Remove yourself from your current environment so that you can clear your head. If you can't clear your head, you can't think straight to make decisions, right? Remove yourself from your current environment so that you can clear your head. But be careful who you tell your life challenges to, because not everybody has your best interest at heart. They may repeat what you ask them not to repeat. They may have their own opinion on how you should live your life. They're not in your shoes. They're not walking in your shoes. They don't know what you've really been through because you really maybe haven't shared it with anybody. Maybe this is the first time you're expressing what's going on in your life. And sometimes it's difficult. And when we do share things, people betray our trust. So be careful with who you share your life challenges with. Okay? Be very careful. Make sure you can trust that person, right? Not everyone has your best interest at heart. Sometimes it is best to try to sit quietly in God's country. Go to the beach, go to the mountains, right? Take a nice hike. If you don't have bad skis, go to the lake. Go to the lake, right? Get out of your own way and sit still for a minute. Sit still for a minute. Ask yourself, can I control the situation at hand? Is what's happening to me something that I brought upon myself? Well, sometimes yes and sometimes no. Sometimes it's something that happened that we couldn't control, and there's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing we can do about it. It is what it is. We recently lost a dear friend to the community. It was very unexpected. And they didn't know where to put their emotions. People in this town were so up in arms. They were like, how did this happen? Why? Why did it happen? Well, sometimes there's just no rhyme or reason as to why things happen the way they do. They just happen the way that they happen. But guess what? everyone learns something. They take away something from that experience. Right? Not everything in life is going to be sunshine and roses. Okay? There's thorns and roses for a reason, right? There's going to be more times than not when we're faced with adversity. How do we help ourselves and others when this happens? Well, try to stay positive. Do something for yourself. Do something for someone else. Give back. A random act of kindness always helps you feel a little bit better. It may not make it go away or make you feel completely better, but it will make you feel better, okay? What you give out, you're going to get back tenfold. So if you're always giving in a positive way, even though you're hurting or dying inside, so to speak, but you're always showing joy to somebody else, you never know what that other person is going through. You never know that that person may have needed to hear that, and you just changed their life in a very positive way, right?
Yes.
Right? Sorry, I usually have my little music stand here, but it disappeared
I like
somehow.
that
It's
Your
like,
stools
help
are
me out,
cute.
Mr. Wizard, it's
Very
okay.
good. We like that stool. Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be monetary, okay? If we're going to be giving back to our friends, the community, or whatever it's in our heart to do, it doesn't have to be money. It can be your time.
Right.
Time is worth more than money, trust me, right? It can be lending an ear to someone that needs for you to listen to them and just being there for them in that moment, right? Sometimes you'll find there's just no easy answers, and you just have to give yourself that time to heal. There's no easy answers as to why something happened that was traumatic in your life. It just did. And losing a loved one is really huge.
Oh my God.
I lost my mother. Now it's going to be 18 years already. Feels like yesterday. My mom died the day after 9/11. So when 9/11 comes up, all I remember is my mom being ill with cancer in her bed, ready to die, and me asking her to wait one more day. Mom, the line to heaven's like really long, so you might want to wait one more day, right? You shut the TV off and all that, so my mom didn't have to hear what was going on in the world, because you could tell it was disrupting her. But there's always going to be something when you've lost a loved one that's going to remind you. It may be daily, maybe weekly, monthly, yearly, you never know. But that's what keeps that person alive in your heart, because the spirit never dies. It lives in your heart forever and evermore. The person's not here in the flesh anymore. But those memories and their love will forever be in your heart, forever. And nobody can take that from you.
No.
Nobody can take that from you. Okay, so I got a little off track there, but that's okay. So adversity is unavoidable. It's going to happen. Things are going to happen to us. It's just the way that it is. So it's how we take life by the reins and hold on, like the roller coaster story. You got to hold on when life gets you down. You got to get yourself back up. Turn to those people that you know will lift you up. Stay away from those people that bring you down. Those people that bring you down don't have anything good in their life going on, and maybe if we lead by example, maybe they'll follow, or maybe they won't. But if we remove ourselves from those people, we won't have as hard of a time. It's always going to be a difficult time when we're going through something, but if we stay away from negative people, it's going to help a lot more, right? I remember when I was going through my divorce, my first divorce, my kids' father and I, my mom thought, well, buckle up your seatbelt, sweetheart, it's going to be a bumpy ride. And she was right. It was. But guess what? I made it through. I survived, right? I made it through. And she was right, it was a bumpy ride. You know, we're going to face life challenges all the time. And the old cliches ring true that your grandma said, or your grandpa said, or that somebody that was a mentor to you in life said. You know, this too shall pass. You're going to be okay. You skinned your knee, you know, you'll be fine. My favorite one is Forrest Gump's life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Every day is a new day to start anew, right? So how do we find joy when all these things are coming at us? How do we do that? You know, when adversity is slapping you right in the face and you still have to work, The sun shines every day and goes down every day, and guess what? The mailman still delivers those bills. And we still have to get up, and we have to go to work, and we have to keep life going for ourselves and our loved ones, right? So my first question is, how do you jumpstart your day? What do you do when you get up in the morning? Do you turn on the TV right away? I'm guilty of that a lot of times. When we turn on the TV, then we don't have to really think, right? But if we give ourselves a moment to sit quietly, maybe make a nice cup of coffee, sit with the birds, listen to outside, and just feel the breeze, and just breathe in and breathe out. Okay, today's a new day. Yesterday's gone. Whatever happened yesterday is not here anymore. But we tend to hang on to yesterday for some reason. We do that. I'm very guilty of that. I have little anger issues sometimes, and I can't let stuff go. And that tends to pull me back. But when I sit still, and I just breathe it out a minute, enjoy what's around me, hear God's voice, right? That helps. So give yourself that moment to clear your thoughts and keep positive throughout the day. As I mentioned, try to give back with random acts of kindness through the day. What does that mean to enjoy everyday living? Well, to me, it means giving thanks for all that we do have and not dwelling on what we don't have, okay? Making small, tangible goals that are tangible so that we don't feel like a failure. I'm never gonna get there. Oh my gosh, I have this goal and it just seems like my whole life I never got there because maybe it's a goal that's not reachable at this moment. Maybe we just need to do daily goals.
It's progress, not
Progress, exactly. Daily goals, right? So give thanks for what you do have. Making those goals. Enjoy each chore ahead of you. Oh, this is a good one. Oh my God, I have to do the dishes. Well, maybe if we turn on the music and sing while we're doing the dishes and enjoy folding the laundry, doing the things that we really don't want to do, maybe that will help us. And what sticks in my mind is how blessed am I that I can still do those things. There's people that are disabled that can't wash a dish or fold the laundry. Right? I get to do my dishes, exactly. God bless those dishes, they're not going anywhere, right? So we're blessed to be able to do these things. What are the things that bring you joy in your life? What brings you joy? And if you can't find the joy, it's time to really sit down and dig deep and find something. Do you have a hobby? Do you like to ride on a motorcycle? Do you like to ride a bicycle? What do you like to do? What are the things that brings you peace in your heart at that moment? Do those things, right? Incorporate those things in your everyday life. It's up to us, right, to keep the joy in our lives. We choose every day. We choose. It's up to us to keep that joy. Sit with that cup of coffee, like I mentioned. Enjoy those birds. Enjoy God's presence all around you. Whatever it is that you're going through right now, just know that it will pass. It will pass. It will come and it will go. Get up. Get moving. Be the reason someone smiles today. Be the reason someone smiles today. This will make you feel good about you and help you enjoy your everyday living. Now, I've given each one of you a spiral notebook. Why did I do that? There's a reason to my madness. And a lot of my speeches kind of dovetail from one another. It's kind of what my guidance tells me to tell you folks and share with you. But the spiral notebook is very important to your day. What I want you to do is give yourself 15 minutes every day and sit down and write down your thoughts, your frustrations, your fears, your anxieties, whatever it may be, write it down in raw form. Have a conversation between you and God and the universe and write it down. Then reread it and tear it up and throw it away. And start over either that night or the next day. Because today is a new day. Yesterday is gone. I love that song by Leonard Skinner. Tuesday's gone with the wind. It's not here anymore, right? But we tend to stay there. We tend to dwell there, right? And it's just human nature. So if we write our thoughts down, then we're not going to talk to somebody that doesn't have our best interest at heart. We're going to have that conversation. We're going to write it down real fast, reread it, and then rip it up, because it doesn't exist anymore only if we let it. And every day, you may have to do it a couple times a day. And that's okay, right? It's really okay. You have to make every day count, as you never know when your last day on earth is going to be. We don't have the expiration date. We don't know. God didn't give us that. He didn't tell us, okay, you're born here and then you're going to die here. That doesn't happen, right? We don't know that expiration date. So let's live our best life now. Let's get up, get moving. Let's give back. Let's help others to help ourselves. And thank you all for coming. Miss Denise, thank you. Vendors, please shop our vendors. Please come see our food truck. Brazilia's Gone Wild, they have the best clam chowder in the world, I swear. And there's some vendors out back, Miss Gina, Mr. Gary, and we have Mr. Fernando. So thank you all for coming. Thank you for supporting Shepherd's Gate. We will see you next time. You're welcome. Come on, Miss Denise, you're up, sister.